Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. How are you today, Cubs? That's good to hear. Well, if you're not having the best day, today is going to be a little bit better because I'm going to be talking about stress. Before I begin though, check out my friend Tabia's Instagram page. She makes the art for a lot of my videos, and go check her out on Instagram. Their Instagram link, or their Instagram handle, is TABBI_OX. Check them out. They make really wonderful art. Alright, let's get into it. How can you manage stress? Stress in general, but also, more than that, stress as a student. I've been dealing with a lot of stress, and I think I've come up with a good number of ideas that will really help someone manage those emotions. It can be really overwhelming, and one thing that I have noticed that really helps me is by focusing on one thing at a time, specifically one course. If I have a number of different things that are due at the same time, I'm just going to focus on one course at a time. So I'm going to do everything for one course. Then I'm going to do everything for the next course. And I may not submit everything in time, but especially if I'm backlogged with things that I was supposed to do but I didn't hand them in already, I like doing that because it clears my mind. Because then I know, okay, that one class, I'm completely done with. I don't have to do anything with that anymore, and it's out of my head, which really helps. And you have to work that around your schedule and what works for you. But for me, that really works well. If I'm behind on a lot of classes, I just like to do each class one at a time, get everything done, get caught up with one class, and then move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one. That really helps because it clears my mind of all that mental clutter of thinking, oh, I have this to do, I have this to do, I have this to do. Kind of organizes my brain because I know that I have, let's say I have 2 assignments due in every class. I don't have to manage which class is due. If I've done the assignments for one class, I can just throw that out of my head. Okay? So number 2, and I apologize for speaking so quickly, but I'm really enthusiastic about this because these tips really have helped me. And I've been under a lot of stress recently, so I hope that these can really help you. So number 2, exercise. Exercise is really beneficial for relieving stress, but also regulating your emotions and hormones. Exercise is really important. If you are not a traditionally active person, I'm not really active at all. I haven't been my entire life. I've never played any sort of recreational sports or organized sports. I've never, just never liked exercising or sports in general. But exercise is really important. So even if you're going for a walk helps tremendously. Just to get your blood pumping and to balance out your emotions. It's really surprising what a brisk, let's say, 20-minute walk can do for your mental health. Just by, lapping around your street, or if you live in an apartment building, just lapping around the apartment building just a little bit. You don't have to do too much. All right, number 3. Listing and scheduling what you need to do really helps, but don't overschedule. And a sub note under this is to not underestimate or overestimate your assignments. So I know this is a lot, but let me break this down for you. Listing the things that you need to do in a day is really great, and scheduling them out really helps, because I know for me, I procrastinate a lot. I know for a lot of us ADHD folk, we can make these great lists, but we can't follow them, right? So you want to list the things that you need to do, but also schedule them so that, okay, I'm going to do this on this day, this on this day, because I know I have something to do on Friday. So I want to start the assignment on Wednesday and Thursday so I'm not cramming on Friday. But again, don't overschedule yourself. Don't box yourself into, I need to do everything on one day. You know, if something's due on Friday, don't schedule yourself to say, okay, I'm going to do everything on Friday. That is scheduling, but you're not preparing. You're underestimating how hard that might be. And if you overestimate your assignments or your projects, hey, well, if you finish early, that's great. Okay, it's much better to finish early than it is to finish late, or to not even hand anything in. Alrighty, so I believe we're on number 4 now. Sleep deprivation is bad. Sleep deprivation is really bad. Sleep has a major impact on how you conduct yourself throughout the day. And one reason why you might be angry or anxious or stressed is a lack of quality sleep. So one thing that if you haven't been doing, go to sleep at around the same time and wake up at the same time. Have a set time where you're going to fall asleep and wake up, and make sure that it's aligned with you and your body. Some people can sleep less, and some people need to sleep more than others. And especially if you're younger, you should really look up what is the average, or what is the number of hours of sleep that I need for a person of my age and of my gender, or of my sex, sorry. And figure that out. And if you're trans, or if you're have issues with not issues, I should say, but your hormones aren't fully balanced out like a trans person who's getting hormone replacement therapy, go to your doctor and ask them, what is the amount of sleep I should be getting? Because it's different for both males and females, and it's different for everybody in every single age. And then even then, it's different for different people, right? So it's really bad to have sleep deprivation. You should really, get a good number of sleep, preferably at least 7 hours, if not 8. From what my demographics show, a lot of you are like 18 to 21, 23. So at least 7 hours, if not 8. It would be really surprising if you get a good night's sleep for a couple days in a row, and you'll see how your mood and your hormones and your emotions balance everything out, you know? All right, number 5. Drugs are not the way. I apologize for my tummy grumbling. Drugs are not the way. A lot of people manage stress with drugs or alcohol or other types of intoxicants. Don't do it. I know you want to, and I know that a lot of people use cannabis to relieve stress. I certainly have. It's not good for you. I promise. It's gonna start out, oh, it's just for anxiety, and then it's gonna become much more than that. And there are people who can handle alcohol and cannabis, who can drink moderately, or who can smoke every once in a while and be completely fine with it. But if you're in the middle of this deep valley of stress and you're trying to start a new venture, that's not going to be good. If you're in a good state of mind where you're not stressed and your emotions and everything are balanced, and you're calm and you're kind of on a base ground in terms of your life stability, and then, hey, if you want to do it recreationally, do it moderately. Don't overdo it. But, you can have fun with it. But don't start these kinds of things thinking that, oh, it's just, I want to have one drink. I'm just stressed. I just want to have one joint. No. Don't do it. 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 And if you do use cannabis or any type of drugs, I would suggest that you stop if you're feeling very stressed. I know it can be very hard to stop, especially when you are stressed, but I promise you, you are going to get out of that pit of stress much faster without drugs than you are with drugs. Okay, now number 6. If it's not urgent, delegate it or respond to it later. So if you have something, if somebody's asking you about something or they want something from you, if it's not absolutely important, respond to it tomorrow. Okay? If you're already dealing with something, if you're doing work, respond to it tomorrow. And if you can delegate it to other people, do that. If you're already feeling a lot of stress, delegate it. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Say, hey, can you help me do this, or can you show me how to do this in the assignment? Okay. Can you show me if you have a car, show me what the best mechanic is. I really need a mechanic, but I don't have time to look for a good one on Google. Okay. Have your friends and family delegate those smaller tasks that you can to others. And I promise they'll want to help you. Especially if they're seeing you stressed, they'll want to help you. But even beyond that, good family and good friends will always want to help you. Okay, now, last one. I know this video is long. I'm trying to make my videos shorter. But break down big problems. Number 6, break down big problems into smaller problems. Okay? Exactly what I did here. I broke everything up into separate steps. Okay? Into 6 steps that have worked for me, that I stand by, that I fully support. Okay? And it's not just, here's a jumble of ideas. No, they're organized, they're broken down, and I have some sub points for each one, for each point that I wanted to make. It's the same thing. If you have a big project, break it down. Again, I was talking about scheduling. If you have something to do on Friday, schedule it so that you can work on it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending on the size of the project, of course. So if you have multiple parts to it, say, okay, I'm going to do the part 1 to 3 on Wednesday and part 4 to 6, 4 to 6 on Friday. And then I'm going to review the whole thing and edit the essay on Friday. So breaking it down really, really helps. And if it's difficult to break it up, and if it's difficult to find the kind of quote unquote fractures in the assignment to figure out where it can be broken apart into, again, just ask someone. Having a fresh eye on what you're doing really helps. Because if you're really stressed, or if you're in that kind of tunnel headspace, it can be very difficult to see the light. I've definitely dealt with a lot of stress. So if you're feeling stressed, I'm really sorry for how you're feeling. I know it really sucks. And I know it feels like you want to get like Thor's hammer and just, get a lightning strike and hit the ground and just everything blows up, kind of just like releasing all of your anger and stress into the ground. But we got to deal with these things. We got to deal with them and keep moving forward. And the best way to deal with them is by these 6 points. Exercise, scheduling, but not underestimating assignments, getting good quality long sleep, not using drugs, breaking down bigger problems into smaller problems, and delegating and scheduling things that you have to do. Wow, I'm tired. It's very early in the morning. I'm sorry. I'll let you get to your day. Have a wonderful day. I wish you all the best, my little cubs. I'm not going to say little. I wish you all the best, cubs. You're strong and mighty. I love you very, very much.